Trustee Vieira? Absent. Trustee Leota?
Present.
Trustee Carwheel?
Present.
Trustee Jones? Absent. Executive Assistant Maggie Alex?
Present.
Attorney Legnard?
Present.
Could we have a motion to excuse the absentees?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Did you check, do we have anything for?
Nothing for public.
Nothing for public forum?
Nope.
Next on the agenda is the approval of minutes from our regular meeting on July 17th. Everyone has a copy. Does anyone have any corrections? If not, could I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next on the agenda is communications and actions.
We have two. A letter dated July 19th. Good morning, Maggie. I am writing this email to tell you that I'm not going to take the job as firefighter with the Village of Green Island. I appreciate everything the village and the guys have done for me. At this time, and after consideration, I feel this is not the best fit for me. I appreciate the time and consideration that you have given me. Respectfully, Dominic DiBenedetto.
Ordered, filed, and Dominic decided that once we appointed him that he didn't want it, but we still had another candidate, Michael Baker, which we appointed, so we made out okay. But could I have a motion to accept Dominic's resignation?
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. We have another communication.
We have another letter dated Monday, August 14th. Mayor McNulty, I would like to thank and recognize your officers for their assistance on Friday, August 11th, when Cohoes Police Department responded to what turned out to be a shooting-related homicide. Assistant Chief Rice and Sergeant Kowalski were essential to securing the scene and preserving evidence until we could get enough of our own officers there. It is very reassuring to know that our neighboring agencies are there within seconds when a critical incident like this takes place. Thank you, Todd Walden, Chief of Police, Cohoes Police Department.
Ordered, filed. I sent a reply back to the chief, and I thanked him very much for his kind words and his appreciation. And, you know, I also stated we are so fortunate, and I don't think most people realize how lucky we are with the communities that we have around us, that they're there for one another in a heartbeat, literally seconds. So it worked out good, and it gave them time to get some other people in there, so we appreciate that. And that was passed along to Chief Parker and to Bill and Amy also, so that they would know. Next on the agenda is appointments. I'd like to get a motion to ratify the appointment of Michael Baker to the position of firefighter due to the resignation of Dominic Benedetto. He was the fifth of the five gentlemen that we interviewed, and we actually had a very difficult time because they all interviewed so well. And I do want to say before we talk about this, Maggie and I have been stopping over to the fire department just to see how they're doing, and these two guys are so happy. Joe Hallenbeck, I had to stop and think of his name. I said to him the other day, what are you doing? And he's got this big piece of wood in the back, and he said, well, there's a tradition in firehouses that you build a kitchen table together. And he said, our kitchen table is falling apart here. So he said, this is a work in progress, but he said there'll be another big slab put together, and then we sand it and we varnish it, and then we put our fire department logo on it and varnish it again. But he said it's a thing where all 8 of us will build this together. And I thought, I just like the idea of the whole thing, that they're gonna work together to build something more than a table. So it was very good. So could I have a motion to ratify the appointment of Michael Baker to the position of firefighter?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. So the bottom line is things are going pretty good over there. Next on the agenda is the approval of claims. Everyone has a copy. Does anyone have any questions? Anthony and Michelle are both here, and Maggie.
One question. On page 9, does Green Island now have its own speed warning trailer?
Yes, we do.
The sheriff took
You
his
must
back?
not have been going around Green Island, because it's been down here, it's been on George
Oh, yeah?
Street. I think it's up on Cohoes Ave now. EJ told me he moved
Oh,
it to
it-
Goes Ave.
Has it got the Green
Yeah, it is.
Island logo on it or something?
It's got the Green Island
Oh,
Police
yeah?
Department on it.
It does.
Yeah, we borrowed one from the sheriff before, but
Yeah,
they-
right.
they needed it back, and
Maybe I just pay attention
it
to the
really
numbers.
did, because they had it near my house for a while. and
Yeah,
they had the
yeah, I
sheriff-
remember it by
and
your house.
really did slow down traffic.
Oh,
You'd
yeah?
see
But I
people
thought that
coming
was
up,
the
you go
sheriff's.
30, or go 33, 32, 31, 30, and they'd
Yeah.
slow down. It made people aware of how fast they were going. So Billy Rice got a grant,
Yeah.
Yes.
so
Cool.
he's pretty good at that grant stuff.
Yeah, so the one that's out there now is ours.
Is ours.
Yeah.
Um, So does anyone have any other questions? If not, could I have a motion to pay the bills?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next on the agenda is the police activity report. Everyone has a copy. Could I have a motion to accept?
Make the motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next on the agenda is the fire department report. Everyone has a copy?
No.
No, we'll have two next
You don't
week.
have it.
Oh, I'm sorry. No one has a copy. There is no report this month, we'll have two next month, sorry about that. Consideration of submittal of the monthly report by the treasurer. Everyone has a copy.
Yes.
Could I have a motion to accept?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried.
A lot of good numbers on there.
Next is consideration of adjustments to the water and sewer. Everyone has a copy of that. Do we have any questions? If not, could I have a motion to make the adjustments?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next on the agenda is the consideration of the monthly report of the Parking Violation Bureau. Been kind of quiet?
Slow month.
Everyone has a copy, could I have a motion to accept?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of ratifying the renewal of a 2-year agreement with the City of Waterville for ambulance services. We've been doing this every couple of years. I don't know if you want to make any comments on it.
Yeah, no, it's just no changes to the agreement, it's just a renewal every 2 years for their operating certificate. It was time sensitive, so we had to have the mayor sign it, previous to tonight's meeting.
So can I have a motion to ratify the 2-year agreement with the City of Waterville for ambulance
the motion.
services?
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of adopting a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the Green Island Professional Firefighters Association Local 3418 for the period of June 1st, 2021 to May 31st, 2026. I'll let Meg comment because she did a lot of work on this.
Sure, and Joe. What you have in your packet is the memorandum of there's two memorandums of agreement. The first is from May 17th. That is where the bulk of the negotiations were resolved. We had a few outstanding issues, so we then attached another memorandum to that. So I'll give you just basically the highlights of the new contract. Of course, the major component was compensation. So we did a 5-year agreement with 2% retroactive to June 1st, 2021, and then 3% for the next 4 years. In addition to that, we had to clarify hours of work. Now that we're at an 8-man schedule, they working 1 day on, 3 days off, which is different from before where they were working 1 day on, 2 days off. So with that change in schedule, they wanted from us just clarification and confirmation that they would still maintain a base of 48 hours a week for their pay. So we did provide that in writing to them. They're still working 2 shifts a pay period with the exception of 1 week a month. It's almost like their Kelly week, although we don't have Kelly days anymore with the new schedule, but it's set up very similar to that type of schedule. Other than that, the village were able to get some technical changes with regards to the 207A process that we were very happy with. And the other point that the village was very concerned about was requesting doctor's notes upon sick time requests. So if we felt as though there was a need to request a doctor's note for any sick time that was requested, we have the ability to do so. Other than that, the major components of the contract all remain the same going forward.
Do any board members have any questions?
So you could ask for doctor's note for sick leave at any time, or is there a scene of abuse, or how's that?
This will prevent, we at one point thought there may be an abuse of sick time. So we were fighting for the ability to do that. So right now we have the ability to ask at any time.
At any time?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? If not, could I ask for a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing me to enter into the memorandum of agreement with the Green Island Professional Firefighters
I'll make a
Association?
motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of authorizing the treasurer and deputy treasurer to sign BST representation letter for fiscal year ending May 31st, 2021, federal awards audit. I don't know if either one of you, Anthony or Michelle, you want to make a comment?
I can make a comment, Anthony can correct me if I'm wrong. We have to do federal audits, award audits, when we have federal funds over $750,000. So we had a federal audit done for year end 2021, and that would be comprised of Section 8 and our monies that we received for the Hudson Ave project. So that audit was done, so this is basically just signing off that that audit is done and we can move forward.
Any questions? No corrections?
No, no.
Could I have a motion, please?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of declaring the following items surplus. Pedestrian traffic signals, those are the ped poles that they took off up at the corner of Tibbetts and Cohoes Ave. Some old phones, portable radios, and a Certex check signing machine. If you want to know the model number, I can tell you. Does anyone have any questions? Sometimes we put these things, we don't think we're gonna sell them for anything, but sometimes we get lucky and somebody buys them, so.
Does that go in that government newsletter?
Yeah.
Gov deals.
Website or something?
Yeah, it's like a Facebook marketplace for government.
I got a notice the other day, they're looking to sell a Harley.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, any other questions? If not, could I have a motion to declare those items surplus?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Next is consideration of the monthly recap for the, I made a mistake with the letters, the GIPA and DPW for June and July. Everyone has a copy. Does anyone have any comments? Boys have been busy.
Yeah, busy indeed.
If not, could I have a motion to accept the recap?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. Any other business? Okay, we'll go to board forum. September 7th is going to be our end of the summer back to school fun day at the park. Mag, you want to comment on it?
Yeah, so this has kind of taken the place of our Family Day celebration. We did it last year during the week when the kids were going back to school, and it worked out really well. The weather was more cooperative earlier in the season, so we're gonna give it a go again this year. So same Family Day style event, just on a Thursday evening. So you're all welcome.
It kind of works out better too, because weekends are so busy for
They're so busy.
families that we seem to get more of a crowd when we do it on an evening than we do otherwise. Also, just make notice that you all know that Ann retired as a full-time village clerk, but she's still doing stuff, and Michelle is taking on a lot of those duties, so they swapped chairs tonight. So Ann's gonna stay around and crack the whip for a little longer and get Michelle into shape. So just make note of that. Does anyone on the board have anything they'd like to discuss?
No.
If not, Our next meeting is Monday, September 18th, same time, same place. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried.
Good to see you, Joe.
Our second last concert is Wednesday,